daughter sent to life in jail for the murder of both parents, whose bodies she hid in her house for 4 years. In a case that has sent shockwaves through the quiet town of Chelmsford, Essex, Virginia McCullough, a 36-year-old woman, has been sentenced to life in prison for the brutal and calculated murders of her elderly parents, John and Lois McCullough. The couple, aged 70 and 71, were killed in cold blood in 2019, and their bodies were hidden in the family home for 4 years, while their daughter continued to live alongside them, spending their money and maintaining an elaborate web of lies. The McCullough family home in Great Baddow, Essex, was once a place of warmth and comfort. But in June 2019, it became the site of unspeakable horror. Virginia McCullough, described by prosecutors as an intelligent manipulator, meticulously planned and carried out the murders of her parents.
Suspicion of murder against Jonathan McCullough and Lois McCullough.
Yeah,
Okay?
my dad's body's in there.
Right, okay.
Yep, okay. Obviously I'll
What about
say,
your mum?
a little bit more complicated. Upstairs there were about 5 wardrobes.
Yep.
I slipped 5 of those into his drink. He only drank probably about half of 2. But yeah, when I went in the morning, this was before my mother, when I went in the morning, early hours, I got up about half an hour early, about 6 o'clock in the morning, came in and he was gone. I did know that this would kind of come eventually. It's proper that I serve my punishment. Cheer up, at least you caught the bad guy.
She poisoned her father, John, by crushing prescription medication and slipping it into his alcoholic drinks. The next day, she turned her rage toward her mother, Lois, beating her with a hammer and stabbing her to death. After the murders, McCullough concealed their bodies in what prosecutors called makeshift tombs. Her father's body was placed in a ground-floor room, hidden under a bed, and covered with masonry blocks, blankets, and paintings, forming a rectangular tomb. Her mother's body was wrapped in a sleeping bag and stored in a wardrobe on the top floor of the house. For 4 years, McCullough lived in the house with the bodies of her parents hidden away, all while continuing to spend their money and maintain the illusion that they were still alive. McCullough's crimes were not impulsive acts of violence, but the result of months of planning and preparation. In the months leading up to the murders, she accumulated a large amount of prescription drugs and purchased a knife, as well as tools to crush and separate tablets. After the killings, she went to great lengths to conceal her actions, telling persistent lies to doctors, relatives, and friends. She claimed her parents were unwell, on holiday, or away on lengthy trips, and even provided false assurances about her employment and future prospects to keep them from discovering the depth of her financial troubles. Her deceit extended to her parents' finances. McCullough had not been employed for many years and had run up significant debts on credit cards in her parents' names. After their deaths, she continued to access their pensions, benefiting from £59,664 and 1 penny from her mother's state pension, and £76,334 and 58 pence from her father's teacher's pension between June 2019 and September 2023. She also engaged in online gambling, spending £21,193 on gambling transactions between 2018 and 2023, June 2018 and September 2023. Despite the large sums of money she accessed, there was no evidence of extravagant spending. Instead, the money appeared to have been frittered away. The truth began to emerge in September 2023, when a GP raised concerns about the welfare of John and Lois McCullough. Essex County Council's safeguarding team referred these concerns to the police, who launched a missing persons investigation. Initially, McCullough lied to officers, claiming her parents were traveling and would return in October. However, when police forced their way into the family home on September 15, 2023, she confessed that her parents' bodies were inside and admitted to killing them. In police body-worn video footage, McCullough, wearing handcuffs, calmly stated, "I did know that this would kind of come eventually. It's proper that I serve my punishment." Her chilling confession marked the beginning of the end for a woman who had meticulously planned and executed the murders of her own parents. In court, McCullough pleaded guilty to the murders, admitting to killing her parents between June 17th and June 20th, 2019. As the prosecution read out her account of the moments before she killed her mother, McCullough broke down in tears. She told police, "Her mom just looked so innocent with her back turned against the wall. She was listening to the radio, she wasn't doing anything." She also admitted that she had to build up gumption to carry out the act, stating, "I knew I had to get it done." The judge, Mr. Justice Johnson, described the crimes as involving a substantial degree of both premeditation and planning. He noted that McCullough had accumulated a large amount of prescription drugs over 3 months, and in May 2019 had bought a knife as well as implements to crush and separate tablets. After the murders, she hid their bodies in makeshift tombs at the family home, the court heard. On Friday, McCullough was sentenced at Chelmsford Crown Court to life in prison with a minimum term of 36 years. Detective Superintendent Rob Kirby of Essex Police described her actions as considered, meticulous, and carried out in such a way as to conceal what she had done for as long as possible. He added, "She is an intelligent manipulator who chose to kill her parents callously, without a thought for them or those who continue to suffer as a result of their loss." The case has left the community of Chelmsford reeling, as the details of McCullough's crimes continue to emerge. The vast levels of deceit, betrayal, and fraud she engaged in have been described as shocking and monumental. For 4 years, she lived a double life, hiding the bodies of her parents while continuing to spend their money and maintain a facade of normalcy. As Virginia McCullough begins her life sentence, the tragic story of John and Lois McCullough serves as a stark reminder of the depths of human depravity and the devastating consequences of betrayal within a family. The couple, who had dedicated their lives to their daughter, were ultimately betrayed in the most horrific way imaginable. Their deaths have left a void in the lives of those who knew them, and the community continues to grapple with the shock and sadness of their loss. The case has also raised questions about the lengths to which people will go to conceal their crimes and the impact of financial desperation on human behavior. McCullough's actions were driven by a combination of greed, manipulation, and a desire to maintain control over her life, even at the cost of her parents' lives. Her story is a chilling reminder of the darkness that can lurk behind closed doors and the importance of vigilance in protecting the vulnerable.